Okay, students who are doing the stock portfolio project for your final project in economics, these are a couple of quick things about where you find what you need. So you can see on the assignment sheet here, section 1 is your ownership record and rationales. And the rationale is just why you decided to buy or sell it when you did. Your ownership record, your account is keeping track of. The rationales, you'll have to add. But this is where you find those things. So I'm going to go to my portfolio here. So here's me in the game, and if I click on portfolio, which is where you'll find all of this information, you have holdings, performance, orders, and transactions. I have just purchased some things today to be able to show you how to do this. You've been buying and selling things already for a couple of weeks. So when you click transactions, it's going to show all of your buy and sell orders since the game began. So again, since I only did it today, it has only recorded these 4 transactions. Especially if you're doing the project, you'll have significantly more than this because you're required at all times to own at least 8 stocks and have at least $75,000 in the market. So you'll have lots of things here. The easiest way to do the ownership record and rationale section 1 is, again, yours is going to be a lot longer than this, but copy it. If it's several pages, you'll have to copy and paste each page into a document. And then off to the side, you can type your reason for buying it. And it might just be because you like Nike or because you read that a stock was a good one to have right now, or it's a company that you know somebody who works for it. The reason might not be all that complicated, but you still have to give a reason for buying. And then in terms of selling, why did you sell it when you did? Either it was continually going down or you wanted to sell it and take the money that you made to reinvest, whatever the reason, but you have to provide a reason for each transaction. After you've copied and pasted these into a document, then you just type up over here on your document what the reason would be. So that's where you find the information you need for section 1. Section 2 is those main ownership profiles. If we go back to our portfolio here, this stock, for example, if I click on the symbol, it will take me to the actual MarketWatch page for this company, Sonos Networks. This provides me some information about the company if I click right here on Profile. So it takes you right away to the overview page, and here's the profile page. Remember that I told you very specifically not to copy and paste a single word of anything from the internet or you'll get a 0, but this is what can start you out as to what these companies do that you would paraphrase. And then additionally, you'd probably also go to their website or try to find a little more information about them because of the additional information that I asked for in this write-up. So you can read over that again if you're doing this project, but a good place to start is to, again, using your portfolio, go ahead and just click on the stock symbol that's in your portfolio. It takes you to overview and then you click profile. So that's a place to start for that information. Section 3, this graphic stock diary. You'll have 4 weeks of graphs, and like it says, you have to create a circle or pie chart that's a breakdown of where your money is, and you also have to create a line graph that shows how your portfolio has done over the course of the week as a whole. You can get all the information you need from that from here, but this is what I was talking about where you have to print something each week so that your information doesn't disappear. Because your holdings will continually change if you're doing this project, right? You can't just have the same 8 stocks the whole time and say, oh, I'm just going to keep an eye on it, because that's not enough activity to fulfill the requirements. So this page right here that says holdings and tells me or tells you what you own, you'll have to print each week to be able to make your pie chart. So you'll use the symbol for your pie chart, the amount of money that you have invested in it, and then of course you'll have a cash amount. So if I add this number, this number, this number, and this number, it will total an amount that is, what, like $90-some thousand, because I still have $4,408.01 in cash. So I'll have that as a cash piece of my pie, and then these amounts right here will add up to this total, because that's how much my portfolio is worth right now. Those pie charts, I put a link on the wiki space to this website, Create a Graph, and it's certainly pretty easy to use, or it seems like students have an easy time using it. You just choose pie chart, you put in your data, you choose the labels and how they look, and the labels of course will be the stock symbols and then the word cash. Then you can take a look at your pie chart. I don't have anything because I didn't put anything in. And then you're able to download it or print it for your portfolio assignment. So that's one option. You can use Excel if you want, or some other website you know of, but this is one that I put on the wiki for you to be able to create your graphs. You can see you can also create a line graph. So you have to have a line graph each week as well as to how things have gone. That doesn't come from this page. But again, you have to print this every week so that you have these numbers, because these numbers will change. Their values will change. What you own will change. So you have to do this each week. Your line graph comes from performance. So again, I just purchased these today to show you guys how this works. But if I had bought stocks over the course of a couple weeks, I would see all these different transactions, or different values, excuse me, for the different days. And so this information, this total equity, is how much your portfolio is worth. That does include interest on your cash, okay? So this is how much your portfolio is worth. What you need to do then is make a line graph that is day by day for each week that shows these dates. Okay, and so if you are having activity every day, it will show up every day. See, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday already. So these are the numbers you would use for your line graph. That said, I know that it won't seem like it changes too much, but you can change how far your graph is zoomed in to make it look more severe, but you still have to make a line graph every week of the total equity value for each day of your portfolio. That's the other part of the graphic stock diary requirement. You see finally that at the end of the 4 weeks, you create a final graph that shows your portfolio's overall performance. All you need to do is use the same information, but you're going to pick either preferably Thursday or Friday of each week as a point on your graph. So if I looked at this tomorrow, which is Thursday, that would be 11/19, and so I would do 11/19, and then I would do next Thursday. The market will be closed because of Thanksgiving, but it will still show your portfolio's value, and then that following Thursday, and then that final Thursday as I'm getting my work together. Okay, so you'll choose one day of the week to chart, a Thursday or a Friday, for your overall performance graph that is also a line graph. Section 4 asks for a journal of events. This is worth the most points here, so I just really quickly, lastly, want to show you where you can find some of this information. It says that you have to find an article each week about a stock that you own, and that they can't be more than a month old. You need to find an article about a different stock each week. And if you have to own 8 at all times, it should be pretty easy to find 4 different articles. And it's actually really easy because if we go back to our portfolio, go back to our holdings. So I'm in portfolio. Again, there's these tabs here that we're using. Here's my holdings. And I click on, for example, Nike. I know a lot of you own that. Takes me again to that report page. And very conveniently, here is news on Nike. Here's more news on Nike. So you peruse the articles that have been posted recently. This one was posted just yesterday, so that's certainly within 4 weeks' time. And you could potentially then click on that article and read over that posting. It looks like this is just a piece of information, but here's a posting that's an actual article. These articles are here because they have some reference to Nike in them. So that's a really useful thing, because then it helps you to know that it's definitely somehow about Nike, but these especially too are clearly very useful. So if we click on this article, we might be able to use it to refer to in our write-up about what's going on with Nike that week, and did that make you keep the stock? Did it make you sell it? Did it make you buy more because of something they thought was going well? Those are the kinds of reflections you'll write after you tell me a little bit about your article, and you must also print and include the article in your portfolio. Be sure that you are using articles that you understand. If it's some kind of complicated financial report that doesn't make much sense to you, don't use those kinds of things, because you tend to say things about them that also don't make sense. So again, owning 8 stocks and only having to find a total of 4 articles over the 4 weeks, look for articles that make sense to you, and if you can't find any about a particular stock, go back and look for a different stock instead of just choosing one that is not something that you feel like you can get a good grip on. So that's the part that you need for the 4 weeks, and it's easy to find information by just clicking again on the symbol and then looking over on the side for news that you feel like you can use. The other part of this has to do with 3 articles from this quarter, and by that I mean at least no older than September, October is fine, about macroeconomics and kind of the nation's economic performance in general. We're going to be learning about that over the next few weeks before the semester ends, but you can certainly refer to chapters 10, 11, 12, or 13 in the book for topical ideas that you could look up in the news, just Googling like unemployment or inflation in the United States and looking for current news. So macroeconomics is covered in chapters 10, 11, 12, and 13, and 14 and 15 actually. So if you just want to look at the kind of the headings, even in the table of contents, you'll get some ideas of some terms that you can look up to find news about those bigger ideas, or you can email me if you feel like you're having trouble. And then the reflection page is pretty straightforward. So with all those things shown to you, those of you doing the stock portfolio project should be set. You can talk to me if you have further questions.